This weekend, students and families will travel from both near and far to fill the Bryce Jordan Center for THON Weekend, a 46-hour no-sitting, no-sleeping dance marathon. As the largest student-run philanthropy in the world, more than 16,500 student volunteers participate in the year-long fundraising efforts to benefit THON's sole beneficiary, 4 Diamonds at Penn State Children's Hospital. Since THON partnered with 4 Diamonds in 1977, more than $151 million has been raised for 4 Diamonds and their efforts to conquer childhood cancer. Last year alone, THON raised over $10,151,000, all for the kids. This year-long fundraising effort culminates with THON Weekend, which happens in the middle of February each year. Over 700 Penn State students are recognized as dancers for THON Weekend each year, and they have to remain standing for the entire 46-hour event. Many THON families will also be at the event since it gives the kids and their families the opportunity to forget about their cancer diagnosis and just have fun. But with THON Weekend occurring in the middle of winter each year, the weather could very easily impact the event. I looked at the past 21 THON weekends going back to 1998 and found that the most amount of snow that fell during one of these weekends was 3.5 inches back in 2005. Just last year, 2.6 inches of snow was recorded on the final day of THON Weekend. But fortunately, all of these snow events have been minor and likely did not cause too many travel impacts for people coming to the event. It was also interesting to find that maximum temperatures have been over 60 degrees during 3 different THON weekends going back to 1998, which is quite warm for the middle of February. But winter has also made its presence known during THON Weekend, with temperatures dipping down to -7 degrees during the event in 2015. I sat down with the Executive Director of THON, Kelly McCready, and the Event Safety Director of THON, Natalie Hanson, to discuss what their plans were if bad weather were to strike during THON Weekend.
We have a snow emergency plan, which goes into effect with all the parking lots and how we disseminate information to anybody coming and where to park. And we work with Penn State OPP and the parking for the university to make sure that all the lots are cleared and that we can move any spectators in their vehicles to parking decks or anywhere else downtown.
Yeah, and just to chime in too, just making sure that we're aware of the fact that many people are traveling from long distances and also our volunteers are traveling to get to their shifts. So factoring that in the safety precautions we would want to communicate to make sure everyone arrives safely.
I also asked Kelly and Natalie what other ways besides snow that the weather could impact THON Weekend.
Definitely. I think the rain obviously is a big impactor because a lot of people don't want to be waiting in line when it's cold and wet, so that can change when people decide to show up to the building, and also just cold. A lot of times we do have lines while people are waiting to get into the building, so that could affect how many people do want to attend THON just because of the cold.
Yeah, and if it is below a certain temperature, we would probably want to look at choosing a different location rather than people waiting outside.
Kelly and Natalie also work closely with local officials, including the Penn State office of the physical plant, in the event that there are any weather impacts.
So we work with emergency management as well, and they kind of help us with our emergency protocol when it comes to weather, and they contact the weather service to get weather predictions for the weekend ahead of time.
Anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 people will come to THON Weekend, with most of them coming from Pennsylvania, but also some people will fly in for the event. Kelly and Natalie were sure to emphasize that their main priority is safety.
Just our main priority is keeping our volunteers and our spectators safe, so keeping an eye on that and making sure that we have specific protocol and precautions in place to make sure everyone has the best experience for THON Weekend.
And making sure that everyone knows that if they do feel unsafe driving, like that CATA, if they're downtown, is running buses, and that they can walk and just not get behind the wheel of a vehicle if they feel unsafe.
As thousands of students and families congregate in the Bryce Jordan Center this weekend, let's hope that the weather won't impact this exciting and emotional 46-hour event. For Whether or Not, I'm Jacob Morris.